So this truck is a 2014 Ram 3500. I'm going to be installing a coil spring type leveling kit on it with box shocks. Right now, stock height with 20-inch Eagle alloy wheels, 33 1250 tires. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like before the leveling kit and what the height difference is going to be after it's installed. Looks like I'm sitting about 39.5 inches on the front. About 43.5 on the rear. We get it pulled in the shop, get started, take the wheels off. So I've already got the wheels and tires off the front end. I got jack stands under the frame of the truck on both sides, and a jack stand under the axle on both sides, and then a jack to move the axle up and down. This kit that I've got is actually a used kit. I don't have the instructions with it or anything, so I'm just going to start pulling everything apart, get everything off of it so that I can drop the axle down, but not in any particular order. I've started getting all the tools and everything ready to take it apart. I've got to get the nuts off both sides on the sway bar end links to get the sway bar moved up out of the way and allow the axle to go down. Shocks, I'm going to go ahead and pull them off on both sides. And some people say that you need to pull the brake line. There's a bracket that holds the brake line on. Some people say that you've got to take that off to allow for the axle to drop down. I'm going to try not doing it. I'll see how that goes. If I have to, I'll pull the brackets off the brake line. I've already kind of started on this top side of the shock. There's a 18mm nut that this wrench right here is on, and then on the top side of it, it's got a 9mm head. And I've got this ratchet here connected to the top side of it just to break it loose. It's already freed up, as you can see. I had to spray a little bit of blaster on it to free it up, but I'm gonna pull these off and put an impact on there and see if I can get it off faster. But that's where I've started. I'll probably pick up down here on some of this stuff on the bottom, see if I can get this passenger side done, and then move over to the driver's side. So far, all that I've disconnected is what I talked about earlier. The sway bar is rolled up, the end links are disconnected, and the shocks are taken out completely. The brake lines are still connected on both sides, and the axle dropped down far enough to get the coils out on both sides. They came out easy. I didn't have to use a compressor to get either one of them out. The axle has dropped down That's as far as it'll go right now. The weight's the jack is dropped all the way, and there's no weight on the jack at all. This is what the coils look like stock compared to the leveling coils. It's the difference in height on the shocks. I haven't got the coil put in the passenger side yet. Hopefully it goes in as smooth as the driver's side did. Alright, I've got this whole side put back together. The coil on the driver's side I think just has just about as much bow, if not more, than what the passenger side has. I don't really know if it's supposed to be like that or not. Put the wheels on, put the weight of the truck down on it, and see if it ever straightens out any. Might need to take it out and spin it around. This kit is used and I don't have any instructions on it. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe somebody could leave a comment and tell me if they know better than what I do. Buddy said it might be a BDS kit, but we don't really know for sure. The guy that bought it can't remember. Since it's powder coated, if it was a Thurn, it doesn't have any kind of tag left on it. I did have to pull the sway bar end links back off. I got ahead of myself and I dropped the axle back down just to get the shocks in, and I did have to put the bottom side of the shock in first, drop the axle all the way back down, put a bolt through the bottom side, and then just jacked it back up into the hole where it fit up there. Never had to disconnect the brake lines, and I didn't have to take out the fender well to get to any of this. You can actually get to this top side of it right here with a wrench, no problem. You don't even have to go in through the top. This side was fairly simple, really. I'm going to finish up getting the passenger side together and see how that goes. Hopefully it'll go just as smoothly as this one did, and maybe whenever I put the wheels and tires back on there, it'll straighten those coils out a little bit. I guess we'll just have to see. Alright, it's the next morning. I got everything finished up last night and took it for a test drive, and it rides so much better than what it did with the factory shocks and coils. So the ride quality was definitely an improvement. See how much of a difference it made in height. .41.5 inches in the front. .43.5 in the rear, so still about 2 inches taller in the rear. Forgot to mention that this kit did come off of a 2500 and I put it on a 3500. They're interchangeable, bolts up just fine, no issues with that. It still does have the bow and the coils. I'm thinking that maybe an aftermarket set of radius arms would fix that problem. I'm not really sure. I might just have to order a set, put them on, see if that fixes it or not. Overall, it turned out good though.